presentation is about use of medical micro and nano robots in telemedicine in COVID-19 pandemic. So as the introduction of this subject, today in accordance with the new pandemic conditions of the coronavirus and the need to do most of the work online and virtually, telemedicine is recognized as an effective way to provide quality healthcare services without time and space constraint. And this review article could be a step forward for awareness and application of this technology in today's medicine. If you take a closer look to different types of telemedicine or telehealth that there is in this figure, we can say that today by the COVID-19 and these types of pandemic, we see that reorganization in healthcare delivery, financing, and advancements in electronic health record and clinical decision supporting system can accelerate the telehealth adoption into healthcare delivery. And robotic technology can play an important role in the use and delivery of telemedicine during this pandemic. One of the application of micro robots in medicine is the micro robot capsule. And micro robots capsule, which can be used in endoscopic operation that receive images from the gastrointestinal tract, and the images received from it cannot only be examined in the presence of the patient, but also in combination with telemedicine system, the images can be sent to a specialist doctor anywhere in the world. And based on it, diagnosis, instruction, and even medication can be received remotely. And in addition, the use of nanorobots in bio-nanorobots in drug delivery reduce the side effects of drug and speeds up the healing process. So it can be like a surgeon nanorobot can also travel across around the body that's may without with ordinary instruments we cannot reach that area. And work has also been done on nanorobots that increase the immune system against disease. And some nanorobots can also be used to identify an area of chemical contamination in the body. So we have a wide variety of nanorobots and different that they have different functions. And this figure is provided to explain understanding biophysiochemical interface between nanobio chemical. And this model, the model envisions complementing and predicting the core properties of nanomaterial to identify the nanobio interaction sites. For example, selection of property, as you can see on the top left, selection of properties to predict, for example, by dissolution or agglomeration and aggregation. And the other one is competitive protein binding, which can go, we can see more specifically in this figure, that after the selection of appropriate nanoparticle, the properties, real experimental data must be used for this development. And optimization and cross-validation before unknown particle property or the nanobio interaction can be predicted. And the boundary condition indicated by radial outline. So experimental data for model training that we have here. Experimental data can be mass spectrometry, electron microscopy, dynamic or multi-angle light scattering, nano tracking analysis, X-ray structure. So it can be different type of experimental data for collecting information, and the observed property can be either dissolution, agglomeration and aggregation, or competitive protein binding. And the input of this model or stimulation tool can be a grid research, artificial neural network, molecular dynamic stimulation, and it can, by optimization of this model, it's dividing experimental data in a set of training and validation data that can predict the experimental data as well. So it is a cycle. And the output of this model can be prediction of core properties and nanobio interaction. So as you see, it has different ability and variety types of capability. And by comprehensive view of the capabilities and capacities of telemedicine and micronutrient medicine, we can reach a new approach to integrating the potential capacity of these two parts of advanced technology to achieve new application, to find out this technology in providing healthcare services, especially remote healthcare. And we have different type of microbial dynamic analysis algorithm for explaining micro and nanorobot. And micro robots are controlled by a magnetic field and can move in living tissue and organs through the body's bloodstream. This one is, for example, they may be performed for surgery on blood vessels, which is expected to be one of the medical methods adopted in the near future. And the scope of work of nanorobots is inside the human body, and they can display the amount of different compounds in the body and store information in their internal memory. And the potential medical application of nanorobots range from eliminating the side effects of chemotherapy to treatment of Alzheimer. This is one of the other benefits of nano, and using the special properties of biological organisms and various living biological material also been used to perform the desired function for providing nano-sized biostructure. That's recent developments in biological cell-driven biohybrid microswimmers reveal that different type biological microswimmers like bacteria or even algae population need to interact in blood and in the same fluidic media. And based on this fact, the study of swimming behavior of two opposite type of biological population, for example, chlamydomonas and algae population in co-culture with E. coli bacteria population, discovered that the shift in motility behaviors of these two opposite type swimmers suspend in the same fluidic media. So this is another adventure with a new type of nano and biomedicine. And capsule energy supply and location of the capsule in the body is one of the other challenges that we are faced to determine the location of the capsule, and array of sensors are connected at a suitable distance from each other, which is to estimate the distance between the capsule and its location. So it is another challenge in this field that we have. And the other category of nanorobot design is for investigation of the behavior of nanorobot in the environment. The blood contains many cells, and each cell is about a few micron in diameter. And one of the characteristics of nanorobots in the movement is in the movement in the blood. And the physical behavior of nanorobots is completely different from the performance of larger robots. So the fluid velocity in blood capillaries, which seems to be reasonable small for the movement of the nanorobot, is another challenge. And therefore the use of higher speed depends on the intended purpose and application of nanorobots. And in the case of using a set of nanorobots, the communication between each one of them is done by chemical connection. So generating a signal with a small amplitude and low noise commensurate with the biological condition of the cell and can destroy the target cell or destructive cells, which requires bioprocessing and high level of intelligence in nanorobots. So that's one of the achievements in this field. And generally, based on the positive experiences of patients and clinicians from the enforced telemedicine-based care during COVID-19 pandemic, a unique insight emerged. So integration of telemedicine-based care into daily practice may have particular importance for patients with rare cancers and those who live distance from care centers. And enforced adoption of telemedicine has demonstrated the time and cost-saving implication for patients, which have the potential to revolution cancer care delivery. And nowadays, researchers show that future developments in the field of telemedicine are seriously influenced by technological advances in three areas of mobile communication, vital sensor, and nanotechnology. And nano and micro robots are very helpful medical devices in science and health technology. So nanorobot is also a new field of science that includes the design, construction, and programming of nanorobots, and the scope of nanorobots within the human body is very wide. And nanorobots are able to examine specific tissue and study its biochemical and biomechanical properties in great detail. And in general, they can easily identify the biological environment. So comprehensive view of the capability and capacity of telemedicine and nanoparticles in medicine to apply this technology in improving remote health service could be helpful. Thank you everybody for your attention. If you need any question,